من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها النبي إذا طلقتم النساء فطلقوهن لعدتهن وأحصوا العدة واتقوا الله ربكم لا تخرجوهن من بيوتهن ولا يخرجن إلا أن يأتين بفاحشة مبينة وتلك حدود الله ومن يتعد حدود الله فقد ظلم نفسه لا تدري لعل الله يحدث بعد ذلك أمرا فإذا بلغن أجلهن فأمسكوهن بمعروف أو فارقوهن بمعروف وأشهدوا ذوي عدل منكم وأقيموا الشهادة لله ذلكم يوعظ به من كان يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر ومن يتق الله يجعل له مخرجا ويرزقه من حيث لا يحتسب ومن يتوكل على الله فهو حسبه إن الله بالغ أمره قد جعل الله لكل شيء قدرا واللائي يئسن من المحيض من نسائكم إن ارتبتم فعدتهن 3 أشهر واللائي لم يحضن وأولاة الأحمال أجلهن أن يضعن حملهن ومن يتق الله يجعل له من أمره يسرا ذلك أمر الله أنزله إليكم ومن يتق الله يكفر عنه سيئاته ويعظم له أجرا أسكنوهن من حيث سكنتم من وجدكم ولا تضاروهن لتضيقوا عليهن وإن كن أولات حمل فأنفقوا عليهن حتى يضعن حملهن فإن أرضعن لكم فآتوهن أجورهن وأتمروا بينكم بمعروف وإن تعاسرتم فسترضع له أخرى لينفق ذو سعة من سعته ومن قدر عليه رزقه فلينفق مما آتاه الله لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا ما آتاها سيجعل الله بعد عسر يسرا وكأين من حاسبناها حسابا شديدا وعذبناها عذابا نكرا فذاقت وبال أمرها وكان عاقبة أمرها خسرا. أعد الله لهم عذابا شديدا أعد الله لهم عذابا شديدا فاتقوا الله يا أولي الألباب الذين آمنوا قد أنزل الله إليكم ذكرا رسولا يتلو عليكم آيات الله مبينات رسولا يتلو عليكم آيات الله مبينات ليخرج الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات من الظلمات إلى النور ومن يؤمن بالله ويعمل صالحا يدخله جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا قد أحسن الله له رزقا. الله الذي خلق 7 سماوات ومن الأرض مثلهن يتنزل الأمر بينهن لتعلموا أن الله على كل شيء قدير وأن الله قد أحاط بكل شيء علما.
As the gender war rages on, in order to keep the peace, we must discuss the exact facts. Welcome to Exactly. I'm your host, Saudi Man. Remove your shoes and enter upon your right foot, upon the right state of mind, bi'idhnillah. Topic: why single moms never deserve monogamy. Why single moms never deserve monogamy. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, brother J. Detroit producer Paul. Thank you for tuning in along with the rest. But this may seem harsh and it may be a bit of hyperbole with it, but at the same time, let's go through it and let's figure out together why single moms never deserve monogamy, okay? Theories. There are theories about single moms, okay? One theory is that baby daddies are your metric. For single moms, baby daddies are the metric. Baby daddies are the metric, meaning that the measure of your baby daddy or your baby daddies, depending on the situation, is what you deserve in the future. Or basically, it's a bar that you could never surpass. So the metric of that dude that you allowed to shoot the club up and impregnate you, and you chose as a woman to carry it to term. Man has 0% reproductive rights. He can be coercive. He can have all kinds of conversation, have the gift of gab. At the end of the day, a woman has 100% reproductive rights. So she chose to let him shoot the club up. And let's say there was a birth control malfunction. Let's say there was a contraceptive malfunction and a child conception happened, okay? She still chose to carry that child for 40 weeks, to bring that child to term, to push that child out, bring it into the world, nurture it, so on and so forth. Now the child exists outside of the womb. That is totally a woman's choice. So they say by this, and I say they, I'm talking about those that study the phenomena. They say by this, that is her metric. She cannot surpass that bar. Who is the dude that you allowed to impregnate you? Now, we're not going to talk about grape. Grape is, grape is something that's outside of the realm of normality. It's outside of the realm of normality. So we're not going to discuss that. But nevertheless, the baby daddy you allowed to shoot the club up, to conceive, to bring to term, that is your metric. And this is one theory. That is your metric. So if we judge by that, and I step in, let's say this guy didn't want anything to do with the child. Well, just like Dave Chappelle said, if is your body your choice, then it should be my money my choice. And if you could kill the child, I should be allowed to abandon it. If we're talking about so-called, equality or egalitarian type of ruling. So nevertheless, your baby daddy is your metric. Now I step in, I'm the guy that's going to care for you, care for her and the children, the child or children. Now that puts me at a higher bar than that guy. That puts me at a higher bar than that guy. A lot of times we see pictures of the ex and we say, just pictures, right? You say, wow, okay, guy's taller or he's shorter. That guy's in shape or out of shape. We say this to ourselves, and wow, you was with him? Like, man, did I take a L? You might think like that, and this is something that naturally may cross a man's mind. But nevertheless, topic again, why single moms never deserve monogamy. Let me go past the theory of the baby daddy is your metric, your bar, your level. Okay, my experience is that a man that steps up to the plate and takes care of the orphan child, the Zanin child, the child born out of wedlock, the child born and then abandoned through any means or any method, that person that steps up is really unappreciated. Excuse me. That person's unappreciated. It's you would hope and you would think that, look, for your child's sake, I step up. I'm fulfilling the role of a father figure. It can't be the father, but fulfilling the role of a father figure, which I take seriously. And you would think that the single mom would be appreciative. This is not the case. This is not always the case. Okay. My experience is that they're not appreciative. They're unappreciative, and that they will punish you. And we'll get into the ways and the methods in which they punish you. Allah Ta'ala told us in the Quran, Surah 33, Ayat 72, Allah Ta'ala told us that He offered the trust. Okay, He offered the trust to the heavens and the earth and to the mountains. Okay, and they declined. They declined the trust. They didn't want the responsibility. Okay, and we're just talking about responsibilities, all right? Because to take on a woman that has children already, that is a responsibility. It is a higher responsibility than taking on a woman without children. Okay. And taking on a woman that's not a virgin, that doesn't have children, is a higher responsibility than taking on a virgin, but nevertheless. So Allah Ta'ala says that indeed He offered the trust to the heavens and the earth and the mountains, and they declined. They didn't want the responsibility. And this trust is known as aql, the ability to choose and not to choose, the ability to obey and disobey. The heavens, earth, and mountains didn't want that trust. They didn't want that trust. Allah Ta'ala says they declined it, they declined to bear it, and they feared it. They feared it. Okay? It was scary. That responsibility was scary. Now, mountains have a responsibility already. The heavens have a responsibility already. The earth has a responsibility already. But they didn't want the responsibility of aql, the intellect, the rationale, discernment. They didn't want it. Allah Ta'ala says they refused to bear it, and they, what? They feared it. They feared it. Allah Ta'ala says, but man undertook it. Man stepped up and said, I'll take aql, I'll take the intellect, I'll take the ability to obey, disobey, agree, disagree. I'll take it. I'll take it. And Allah Ta'ala says, what? Bil Arabi, He says, Innahu kana zaluman. Okay? Innahu kana zaluman jahula. Okay? Now what does that mean? Allah Ta'ala says, verily he was what? He was unjust, and this is to himself. He was unjust, and he was what? Ignorant. Allah Ta'ala said he was unjust and ignorant when he took on that trust. Okay, when he took on that trust. When a person, man or woman in this respect, takes on added responsibility, okay, it is like an oppression on themselves, okay? Because the more responsibility you take upon yourself, the more Allah Ta'ala is going to ask of you and tax you. Are not the ulama of the first to be judged on Yawm al-Qiyamah? Because Allah Ta'ala will say, I gave you knowledge, what did you do with it? I was at the foot of a king, cementing his throne, passing fatwa made for a king, tailor-made for a king. Allah Ta'ala said he will ask the person that had, health, strength. What did you do with that strength? Oh Allah, I use it fi sabilillah and so and such, And if they did not, Allah Ta'ala will say, you are a liar. The angels will be ordered to drag him face first into the hellfire and slang them in it. Okay? The person that was given wealth, what did you do with that wealth? Person that was given, let me see. I think there's a fourth one. There's wealth, there's knowledge, there's health, strength. And I think there's another one that I may be forgetting. You all can remind me. But nevertheless, so when you take on added responsibility, you are oppressing yourselves, and it seems unwise to do so. Okay? In 2023, that's all we can talk about. We can't talk about the past unless we're using it as an example. It wasn't so taxing as in the past, because why? We had a whole state behind us for 1,500 years, We had a whole state behind us that would support us and things like that. Today we are, look at Palestine, look at Gaza. We are alone. Now, there are some, got good Muslims all around the world. People are sneaking in, helping, people sneaking things in, this and that. That's why the Israeli government is saying that we're going to occupy the Gaza-Egyptian border. We want all the Egyptian soldiers to skedaddle, get on about your business. We're going to occupy this border. We're going to patrol this border. Because they think that perhaps the Egyptian soldiers are sympathizing. They said they just fired so many generals from the Egyptian army because they want to go in militarily and help the Muslims of Gaza, in Philistine period. Back during the so-called 6-day war, that fake war, that they try to use to demoralize us, from Jordan to Egypt, so on and so forth. During that fake 6-day war, the Muslims made very key and strategic gains, and the enemy was on their heels, and the generals refused to leave the battlefield. They kept pushing forward. When they finally relented and came back to Egypt, about 80 generals were assassinated. 80 generals were executed because they were doing too well in the war. The war was not meant for the Muslims to do well. It was meant for the Muslims to suffer loss and to be demoralized by the fleeting new Israeli state. But nevertheless, I digress. So again, when you take on responsibility, there's a bit of oppression upon yourself, and it is not always wise to do so, because you will be held accountable for it. What is the yelling? Is that my okay? Never mind. So how are single moms made? How are single moms made? Uh through talaq. Okay? Through talaq. Talaq is divorce. Okay? That's when a man says talaq taqi, I divorce you. Okay? When a man says I divorce you, then you know, that's a divorce. And if there's children involved, now you are what's called a single mom. Okay? You are now what's called a single mom. Uh that I mean, we're not pointing fingers of who's right, who's wrong, why the divorce happened. We're not doing that, okay? We're not doing that. But divorce is how a person becomes a single mom. Talaq, the man is pronouncing upon the woman. A second way a woman becomes a single mom, she has children within the marriage, of course, and then she, because she feels like she's being oppressed, she seeks khul'a. Khul'a is when she initiates it, but she has to go through a third party like an imam or something like that, or wali, her father, brother, uncle. And if the reason for that she wants the khul'a is you know, it has to be a sharia reason. Okay, if she has a sharia reason, then she's granted khul'a, and it does not count for the 3 talaq that the man is allowed to pronounce. It doesn't count, and she is being emancipated. The marriage is being annulled. She is seeking her freedom. Okay, so she may become a single mom through that avenue. The other one is through the maut, death. You know what I'm saying, the other one is through death. Her husband dies, she becomes a widow. You know what I'm saying? She becomes a widow, and now she is a single mom. So that's how it happened. Is there another way? I'm not sure. I didn't think through that deeply to find a fourth way that a person becomes a single mom. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, I mentioned earlier the child may be zanin, what they call fun babies. You know, babies are fun. I love children. I love raising children. But you know, she went out to the club, found a stranger, he shot the club up, or she was, you know, diddling some dude she wasn't married to or somebody else's husband, and they shot the club up, you know. So yeah, so you can become a single mom through haram also. Okay, so that's the fourth way. Okay, I stand corrected. Now, why single moms never deserve monogamy? Why do single moms never deserve monogamy? Often, I got a list here. Maybe it's eight things. Okay. Often our lives are accumulated choices. Okay. Like my life at this point, it was a lot of choices I made. So now I'm of this opinion, this rigidity, so on and so forth. So my life is of several choices. Often that's how lives are formed. Okay. And because women are like hard drives when it comes to their choices. They're like hard drives. Okay. Uh, an example of this is that if she's married to a guy that did something 99 times, or an accumulation of guys she was married to or with, and they done something 99 times, when I do it, it becomes 100. I don't start back over. It's in the hard drive. I don't start back over. Well, babe, I came in late. I made a promise, I broke my promise. Or I came in late, later than I said I would come in, so on and so forth. That's my first time. No, that's not your first time, bro. That's 100. That's your 100th time, because they keep that hard drive of negativity. They keep it. So when you marry a single mom that have life accumulative choices, that stores these bad choices in their hard drives, okay, or these bad experiences in their hard drives, every time you make a mistake, they add it to the mistakes that came before that have nothing to do with you. Okay? They have nothing to do with you. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, Faris. Yeah, so those mistakes have nothing to do with you. But yet they add it, so it becomes, if somebody or some bodies did 99 things, If you do it one time, it becomes 100. And that is one of the dangers of marrying a single mom and offering her monogamy. Okay. Now, if you have another wife, it that that see, the burden is lessened on you. The strain is lessened on you if you have another wife. Okay. But if you're doing a monogamy thing, then you know this is something you may have to go through. Okay. Marrying her and her kids is what you actually will be doing. You'll be marrying her and her kids. The kids that are, if she has mature kids that are out of the house, they still have relation. They still have a relationship. Okay, they still have communication. Okay, and if you marry kids that are young, that need care, you know, or that are not out of the nest. Basically, they're not. She's not a empty nester or whatever. Then what happens is that you're going to marry her and those kids. So whatever situation, whatever attitude those kids have, you're marrying that. Okay. Whatever outlook on life they have, the level of knowledge they have, the bad upbringing that they have experienced, so on and so forth, you're going to marry that. So you're not just marrying her, you're marrying the children. When they call it a package deal, right? So I'm not speaking uh, like Norm Macdonald would say. I'm not telling any tales out of school. Okay, so they say package deal. So you're marrying her and those kids, and it's not always a favorable situation. The kids are not always educated, not always well mannered, so on and so forth. And this is what we have to experience. But if you have another wife, then this situation doesn't seem so burdensome. And I'm saying this, seem like I'm talking about the man, but it's for the the woman also. Look, don't expect that dude to be around you and your children 24/7, because you already have the hard drive. The hard drive is filled or almost full, okay, of your life experiences. He has an outlet of a woman that he has biological kids by, or a woman that doesn't have kids, or whatever the situation is. He has an outlet. Maybe it's another single mom, but he has an outlet when this situation becomes unbearable, because you're going to go through ups and downs. Allow him, when things are too far down, allow him to step up somewhere else or step out somewhere else in order to get his peace of mind. So not only are you marrying her and the kids, guess who else you're marrying? You're marrying her and the baby daddies. The baby daddy or the baby daddies. You're marrying them. Because if this man has kids, I mean, in normal circumstances, Islamically, she's supposed to give the kids over to the father. But let's say he doesn't want them, or he's not involved, or he is involved, or he's just too busy to take on, custodialship or sole conservatorship of those children, the way Islam says, when she remarries. Then what are you going to do? You got to deal with not only her, because you don't want him and her. I mean, he knows her. He has knowledge of her. Okay. They copulated under carnal knowledge. Okay, so what happens is that they are familiar with each other, so you don't want them too. There's too much contact between them. And some men like, man, I don't care, man. That's your baby daddy. You talk to him. I don't want to deal with him. You know what I'm saying? But really, as your wife, you need to be in between. Like, hey, when are you picking up the kids? Or let me see the court order. Or if they went to that Catholic stuff, you want to understand that. Okay. So you want to stand in between as a man, having ghira, natural spousal jealousy that Allah gave men, real men. Okay. So what happens is that you want to step in between that, and then it becomes kind of murky and mucky. Okay. When he's skipping you, trying to communicate with her because he don't want to talk to you. Or the kids like, you ain't my daddy and this is my dad. Oh man, look, why don't you go with your daddy? You know what I'm saying? All kind of different situations. So you're marrying not only her, you're marrying her and the kids, and you're marrying her, the kids' father or fathers. You're marrying them also. So it's a whole. It's like shurba. It's like soup. It's like a whole soup pot. Really, I should call it stew because there's chunks in there. You know what I'm saying? It's like a whole stew pot. It's like a whole stew pot. And this is what you're getting yourself into. So because of this situation, because she has children by somebody else, because she has baby daddies that that are of the children that she has, then why would you offer this situation? Why would you go into a monogamous situation? Dude, she ain't monogamous with you. That's not monogamy. She is not monogamous with you. She was in poly before you met her. She had poly kids and she had poly baby daddies. Or if she had one kid and one baby daddy, that's still poly. That's 3. That's poly. Okay? But she wants you to be monogamous? But they go, right? She wants you to be monogamous? Like, no. So she should not expect monogamy. I say they never deserve monogamy. Now, if you're busy and you ain't got time, man, look, man, this situation is ideal for me, man. I love this kid. The father done fell off a bridge on top of his head. I ain't got to worry about him. Ideal situation. But if that dude's still alive, you might well put him in a marriage contract. Okay? Might as well put him in a marriage contract. So, almost done. It says, you go from co-parent, okay, if it was your child and you divorced that woman, okay, so that you're co-parenting, which is a myth. I talked about that. It's a myth. There's no co-parent. There has to be a leader. If the father's not allowed to be a leader, there's no co-parenting. I'm saying you're being demoted as a father, okay? So you go from co-parenting to co-parenting. Might well call you Coco. You go from co-parenting to co-parenting. So if you got one baby daddy, then you got to deal with that situation. If you got 2 baby daddy, you got to deal with that situation. You know what I'm saying? 3 baby daddy, that situation upon situation upon situation. And that's what it has. So you go from co-parent to co-parent. So it's a whole conglomerate, of individuals, with agendas and understandings and viewpoints, So anyway, there's no ultimate parental responsibility that you have over those children, okay? That you have regarding those children, I should say. You don't have to take care of them at all financially. You don't, okay? But there will be overlap, okay? You're gonna be riding, taking them to sports practice, football practice, basketball practice, sports, whatever, and it's gonna be like, I'm hungry. Mr. Muhammad boy, or Mr. Muhammad man, or what do they call you, So you go, so you say, okay, so you stop and get them some nuggets or something, to put something in their stomach before they go to practice or whatever. There's going to be some overlap, okay? Baby, I hate to ask, but this dot child needs some shoes, or let's say they ran out their shoes. Hey, we want a football practice. I don't have no cleats. Then why you tell me you had no cleats? Look, man, we'll get some on the way there. And you just charge it to the game, right? Charge it to the game. There's going to be some overlap. Okay, in my benevolence, without boasting, in my benevolence, I've just crashed out. Man, look, I don't need nothing from them baby daddies. I'm going to take care of everything. I've crashed out like that. Not wise, but I did it out of the kindness and naivety of my heart. Naivete. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Mister. Yeah, so I've crashed out like that, but Islamically, I have no responsibility regarding their financial upkeep. They should be with their fathers, okay? If legitimate, they should be with their fathers, or their fathers, if they cannot handle the responsibility, should be funding financially the mother, okay? Not my responsibility, but you can, as a sadaqah, not a tax or obligation, but as a sadaqah, you can step in and provide for those children. I've done it. I've crashed out. Okay. Again, like I said, when you marry her, you're marrying her kids. When you marry her, you're marrying her kids and the baby daddies. You can't get around it. Might not be in bed every night with the baby daddies, but there's gonna be some nights. Gonna be some nights. You're gonna feel like they laying right beside you. Okay. Not only you marry her and her children and the baby daddies, you divorce her and her children. I ain't gonna mention the baby daddies because that's like a relief, right? But you also divorce her and her children. So again, my experience and others, when you divorce her, she'll withhold the so-called stepkids from you. I don't want you talking to my kids, this and that, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, Brother Campbell, Brother Robert Campbell, alhamdulillah. Yeah, so they you divorce them and you'll divorce the kids too, because they won't want you around those kids anymore, because uh divorce was a solution, as Allah revealed it as a solution. Not today it's a problem, but a divorce was revealed as a solution, and was khula'a or talaq, it was revealed as a solution, and you divorced her, and the kids had to go with her, and now she's trying to deny you access to the children, although you were the father figure. Okay, you were the father figure, so just be prepared to let it go, but do not offer them monogamy, because if you do so, you're putting yourself in a hard place, between a rock and a hard place. And if you're going to marry a single mom, I hope you got a wife already before you do it. But if you don't, that's your first wife, the single mom. Hope she got one child, and the father's basically dead. You know what I'm saying, or what have you. But nevertheless, that's how it works. That's generally how it works. Okay, that's generally how it works. I don't know if that's my granddaughter crying or my daughter. Anyway, so last thing I want to mention, because people say, why you didn't mention this? Okay, the blessings. There's blessings in caring for orphan children. The yatim is blessings. Okay, there's blessings in marrying a virgin, a fertile virgin that's playful, that's friendly. It's a sunnah. Muhammad, recommended that. And there's also blessings in marrying someone who's a widow. There's blessings in marrying someone who's a single mom. If you're doing it in order to alleviate their situation, make things better for them, which you ultimately will do if you fear Allah in the least little bit. Okay, so there's blessings involved in it, but don't uh, don't come to men telling men we're not men, because we don't want to assume somebody else's life choices. We don't want to assume anybody else's mistakes that happened before us. That's not the measure of a man willing to take on the dhulm, the oppression, and the jahula, whatever you want to call it, the ignorance of assuming responsibility that's really not. Remember that the mountains, the heavens, and the earth were given a choice. Do you want this amana? Do you want this trust? They declined it because they feared it. Okay? And man stepped up and said, we'll take it. And Allah Ta'ala says he was unjust and he was ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Innahu kana. Okay? He was what? He was unjust. I'm saying zaluman, okay? And what? Jahula, okay? He was unjust and he was ignorant. So take on the responsibility as much as you can. I don't advise you to offer them monogamy. I say it harshly, they don't deserve it. But if you find a good one, you find a good one. There's some single moms, man, that's like, oh boy, dropped the ball, okay? He fumbled the bag, okay? He fumbled the bag. There's some nice, modest, beautiful sisters. And there's some I seen that bro, I'd rather marry Jehovah's Witness. Real talk. I mean, I ain't no difference except the scarf. You know what I'm saying? Except the scarf, ain't no difference. Well, she makes a lot, man. I have no clue what she do. Okay? All I know is she got a convertible hijab, convertible, a jilbab, so so on and so forth. That's all I know. So nevertheless, that's just my opinion. But nevertheless, I don't think that you should do it. And if you do it, you might find a gem. When I'm on the beach, I don't open up every clam I see, hoping there's a pearl inside. I don't, because I might find a pearl. Wallahu alam. I just open them, open them, open them. I might find a pearl. I'm not sure, but I don't open all of them. Okay, but there may be a pearl in all of those clams. So you might find you a pearl amongst these single moms. Some dude did not treat her well, did not value her, did not educate her Islamically, did not fear Allah enough to win her heart, to keep her heart, and he fumbled the bag. Okay, he fumbled the bag. You found her. You like, man, I don't know what Sadiq talking about, man. I got me a good one. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. You a good one, but in general, because we speak in generalities, we don't speak in definitiveness. We speak in generalities, okay? Because nothing is definite except for very few things, okay? But when it comes to human beings, we don't speak in definitive terms. We speak in generalities. And in general, single moms do not deserve monogamy. They don't. And I laid out my reasons why. Now let's move on to real quick. Let's do the delusional dating profile of the week. This is Paulette. Now, Paulette starts off real bad. Paulette starts off at 54. I don't know how she became 54, but she's 54 now. Okay, so who am I to talk, right? I'm 53. But nevertheless, Paulette is 53, and Paulette says, I'm not about to write a paragraph. Let me scoot over. I'm not about to write a paragraph. If you look, she already wrote a paragraph. Look at that. Paulette says, I'm not about to write a paragraph, and then she wrote a paragraph. See, this is one of the main reasons women need leadership. They don't know what they want. They don't even know how to want what they want. They don't even know how to want what they want. They don't know what's best for them. They don't know what they want. They don't know how to even want what they want. I'm here in search of Mr. Right for me. No punctuation. I guess that's why she don't call it a paragraph, because she don't punctuate. Okay, I get you. I get you, Paulette. I'm here in search of Mr. Right for me. I'm new to dating. It's been 11 years, so things ain't different. Brother Mr. says, at 54, what is she offering? Man, she ain't offering no punctuation. I know that much. She got some apostrophes, but she ain't got no periods, no. I think I said exclamation mark. I might have spoke too soon, but yeah, she out of periods. She postmenopausal because she ain't got no period. It says, I'm gonna read the other part again, man, because she left out some stuff. I'm here in search of Mr. Right for me. I'm new to dating. It's been 11 years, so things ain't different. I keep 1,000. I guess she got 1,000 baby daddies. I keep 1,000. I don't like or play games. I don't like or play games. Exclamation, right? Looking for love. Looking for love. Please don't come to me with no games. I'm not rich and I don't give men money. Okay. We give them money. She don't give men money. Okay. So miss me with that. Another exclamation. If you know you not single and have someone, miss me. Check this out. Paulette's 54 and got an attitude and a poor education. And she's saying that if you got somebody or you married, miss me. Okay. I'm going to let y'all fill in the blanks. If you just want sex, I think I remember her picture of her. I'm not going to show a picture. I think I remember how she looks. No, we good. If you just want sex, miss me. If you just want sex, miss me. I'm seeking my future husband. Oh, she going for the mother load. So if you not husband material, miss me, because I know I'm wifey material. Hey, now I should have showed her a picture. Then y'all could get the, you can taste the herbs and spices of what, she's trying to say. But yeah, okay. It's not too bad, except that she says, I'm not about to write a paragraph. And what this, and she wrote a paragraph, which is not a proper one. What this reminds me of is, babe, if you got something to say, if you want to talk, let's talk. If not, let's chill out. No, I don't want to talk. But I just find it funny that, that's what they remind me of. I'm not going to write a paragraph. Babe, you want to talk? No, I don't want to talk. I just find it funny that, that type of thing. That's what So anyway, yeah, I really should have showed her picture so it could bring, amalgamate, if that's the right term. I could bring it all together, But yeah. This is Paulette, if anybody looking. Well, anyway, that's all that I have for today. This has been your brother, Saad Imam for X Factly. Tune in next week, inshallah ta'ala. I'll have another one and another one, inshallah ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.